A couple of days ago, Sonny uploaded a video entitled "Are Shark Cards a Must to Start Up in GTA Online?" It was an interesting video that touches on how shark cards now have a place in 2019 and how they compare to how they were in 2013. I just thought it would be interesting to also get my perspective from things. Obviously, I'm a completely different player than Sonny is, and the interesting thing about Sonny actually is that he recently restarted with GTA Online, having not played the game for many years. He also attaches a series to it, but it's a more of a comedic take about the whole thing. So I guess you could say he has somewhat of an idea, but a very different perspective than myself in terms of how GTA Online is in 2019. Now personally, I come from a place where I've played the game since launch. On October 1st, I tried to log on, I had my connection issues. You've all been there if you've played the game at launch. So I thought it would be interesting to share my point of view and what I think if you actually need a shark card or not, and in a way kind of the shark cards economy at the moment. Because starting off is very simple. Shark cards are undervalued. It's no secret. There's no way around it. $8 million for 75 or 100 bucks or however much they cost these days is simply not enough. $8 million doesn't buy you nearly as much as it used to do in GTA Online 2013. In 2019 you can, Sonny gave an example of the Oppressor Mark II where you have to buy the nightclub, then a terabyte, and then the Oppressor Mark II itself, and his calculations came out to like almost 7 million. This would be okay from a having to get all that together and whatnot perspective. However, with shark cards now still being 8 million for 100 bucks and just being vastly undervalued, you're nearly spending 100 bucks on just simply trying to acquire one vehicle. It's the Oppressor Mark II and it's going to destroy everything in sight. But my point is that they're massively undervalued. Personally, I think they should be at least doubled, if not be like 20 million or something for 100 bucks. These days, 20 million is basically the benchmark if you want to enjoy a DLC at least a decent amount. Having said this, of course, if you look back at previous DLCs like the Arena War, if you wanted to upgrade a thing on your brand spanking new Arena War vehicle and you didn't have the trade price, which by the way still fucking sucks the way they handle that bullshit, then you would be spending about $400,000. Now personally, I'm someone, I have plenty of cash. I'm making my way up to 100 mil and everything to prepare for the Casino DLC, but having said that, I personally don't make that kind of purchases. However, there's going to be a vast majority of, quote unquote casual players that are going to be like, oh, this will probably be useful, wouldn't it? Let me spend $400,000. And that's exactly where this problem is going to start, because those kind of players do spend that 100 bucks on that $8 million and obviously are going to do the exact same thing that the corporate people at the Take-Two and Rockstar want you to do. It's like, oh no, my $8 million is gone. What do I do now? Mommy, can I have another credit card? I need to buy more shark cards! And exactly like that, little Timmy has got himself some brand spanking new money, which he can then start spending on the Tesseract, repeating the same process because that thing is expensive and worthless. But all jokes aside and stuff like that, personally that is my main gripe with the shark cards in itself. Personally, I feel that the way shark cards are handled is okay. The reason I'm saying that before you start flaming down my channel and disliking every single video that I've ever uploaded is because you have the freedom to do with whatever you want. If you, for example, spend 15 bucks on Rainbow Six Siege, you get a couple of skins for a character that is in third person even though you play a first person game. I'm using this as an example because I was playing yesterday and I saw people actually spending 15 bucks on that. I don't know why, but it's a thing. If you spend 15 bucks in GTA Online, you get about 1.25 million, and there's a whole host of things that you can purchase with said 1.25 million, because you can buy, for example, an adder, or like, for example, you can almost buy a Wagner or a Pariah. The list goes on, and there's a whole host of variety of things that you can do with it, because there's this one wonderful thing that you can have with shark cards, which is choice. You have the freedom to spend however you feel like it, whether you decide to invest into a new business or into a new supercar. It's entirely up to you. And that's, in my opinion, one of the good things about shark cards. Sure, they're also funding the DLCs and stuff like that. And as long as there's enough wealthy and lazy people out there, we will continue to get free updates from Rockstar because they are simply funding the DLC. Thank you, you rich assholes. Appreciate ya. But obviously, I should also touch on the main topic of this video, which is, of course, do I personally think that you need a shark card in order to start GTA Online in 2019? Would I say that buying a shark card over the criminal starter pack is a better idea? Hell yes, it is. The starter pack is pretty decent with a variety of things which are questionable at best. I mean, the bunker location in Polito is pathetic. I mean, you get 10 million, sure, but overall, it's a pretty decent way to start. But at the end of the day, you're much better off spending a 30 bucks that you would spend on it on a couple of shark cards, and hell, you could even decide to, you know, splash up a little bit more and get a $50 shark card. But personally, I don't really think that you need to buy shark cards to start over in GTA Online. The reason being for that is, from my own personal perspective, I personally don't like to spend money on microtransactions to reduce the grind or reduce basically goals for myself. I personally am even thinking about starting over in GTA Online in 2013 with no friends, no help, no crew, no nothing. $0, brand new account, fuck you and good luck. If you're interested in it, by the way, feel free to let me know in the comments down below. Having said that, I'm kind of already planning on doing it anyway, but I'm just kind of figuring out how exactly I want to do it. Either in like a live stream setting, like maybe do like, you know, a couple of hours here and there on YouTube every whatever, or maybe just stream it on Twitch and then make like a smaller summary kind of thing on YouTube. But let me know what you prefer, maybe even both, I don't know, but let me know in the comments down below what you would like to see in that department. But I personally don't think so. The main reason for that is that there are so many opportunities these days to make money, especially if you have businesses. If you start off the game with $0, there is so many resources to your availability as well, because there's millions upon millions of people that have bought this game, have played this game at some point, and I'm sure one or two friends out there have played the game and, you know, could tell you, hey, this is what you should do, or at least point you in the direction of a fellow YouTuber who would tell you all about what you should do as a beginner. Because obviously, with YouTube these days, I personally really feel that there's plenty of resources out there. Sometimes you have to look a little bit harder than you should be, but eventually you'll find a good guide, and, you know, that person who is making that video will tell you, hey, you know, start off, you should, you know, go and try to get to rank 12 so you can start playing heist. Sure, heist with randoms is painful, but, you know, inevitably, if you try to do well and, you know, you try to maybe even get a bunch of friends together, then you're going to be fine. But as a solo player, obviously, there's plenty of other opportunities as well. But unfortunately, those solo opportunities are mostly centered around doing businesses. And in order to get there, more than likely, you're going to need some help from some friends. Unfortunately, GTA Online is not necessarily solo player friendly until you start getting those businesses. Obviously, it's a multiplayer game and you're going to be able to rely on randoms, but, you know, just as well as I do when it comes to randoms, they're not always that great. Especially having played Rainbow Six Siege lately, my faith in randoms has dwindled very, very much. You see, in contact missions, you'll be okay, but obviously looking from a completely brand new solo player, I find it very hard to imagine because I've been playing the game for so long. So in that regard, please do excuse me for, you know, making it seem like it's easier than it might actually be. And that's actually one of the reasons why I want to start over from scratch and actually see and do like a deep dive into, okay, what is it actually like starting off from scratch, getting no help, but having the knowledge that is available to everyone, because the knowledge I have of the game and that I have acquired over the last couple of years is all available to you as a new player on YouTube and on Reddit and on basically the entire internet, really. Like, there's plenty of guides and plenty of things to guide your way through making the right decisions and avoiding making the mistakes that you should not be making. So to give a quick summary of this whole thing, it's basically, as a solo player, you're going to have a pretty difficult time, and a shark card is more than likely going to be something that is worth considering if you want to start out, you know, maybe even get an import and export kind of deal, and then make your way up to purchase other businesses and, you know, start making money that way. Having said this though, if you're someone that does have a bunch of friends and, like, you know, you got 2 or 3 other friends to be like, hey, I want to go and play some GTA Online and, you know, let's go get that game together. If you have a group of friends or you have a dedicated crew or whatever, then a shark card should never even be something that you should consider. If you have help, if you have friends, even one friend, you'll be more than fine. But as a solo player, I'd say it's a little bit more difficult. However, how difficult, I'm actually really excited to actually go out and, have a look into that myself. But I'd love to know what you think down in the comments down below. Do you think that shark cards are necessary these days in order to get started as either a solo player or as a player who has a group of friends? Or do you just think it's not necessary, or are just completely against shark cards and think, okay, that should not even be an option? I'd love to know what you think in those comments down below. But with all that said and with all that done, thank you so very much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe for more, and I'll see you all later.